What is good? What is good? Welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Lake, and we are live.
Yeah.
Is the tweet I just wrote and post on X, but we all know it's fucking Twitter. Let's post the link in the replies. Yes. We're doing it, Pat. We're doing it, Pat. What's good? I am one of your hosts, Andy Malfrina. With me, as always, the late great Pat, the Grateful Dead, George Pat. How the hell are you? We were having an interesting talk right before the pod. You are not confronting one problem you have ever had.
You know the term, Andy, and thanks so much for having me here, Andy. Again,
I love how you start. By the way, here's the thing,
Andy. I just like realizing that the term adulting, and how cringy that is in general. I am the exact opposite. I am regressing. I'm going inwards. Like I just had pizza for lunch or for dinner again. You know what I mean? Like I at the age that I'm at, the way I eat and act and everything like that, no matter how much I exercise, I really should. I'm still at the age where like I should be worried, and I should also go to the doctor and also probably pay a portion of my student loans. But
I will say this, you're actually probably, because I still unfortunately, I got one of them old day jobs, but that just makes us more relatable to everyone. Right. And that makes you like us more. We're just like you. Mm-hmm. Retarded pieces of shit.
Right. R-worded.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing we talked about. Yeah. We're trying to be better. We're a bunch of R-worded pieces of shit.
Yeah, we're a bunch of R-worded fucking assholes.
Yeah.
No,
but yeah, I hang out with some people who they definitely, you're doing a lot better than the common man, Pat. I want to give you that. You cuz you're going to do jiu-jitsu, you're doing all that shit. Yeah. I'm sure you don't eat fucking, you're not weekly doing a box of Dunkin' Donuts a day. I'm sure you're doing okay. Yeah, I work with some interesting folks. Where sorry, I shouldn't put his whole fucking thing on, but it's just like, you ever have those friends who are just they're big, yeah. they're a little bit bigger than how you used to be. They're big boys, and they're just going on. They're like, yeah, my doctor said this, my doctor doing that. I just gotta my weight, blah blah blah. So anyway, last night we cleaned out Chick-fil-A, and you're like, dude, it's that.
Yeah.
Hey. You know what? Like, obviously, it's easier said than done, but also it's that. Like, it's that shit.
I remember once one of the people you speak of is my older brother, and one of my older brothers. I used to work with him at a warehouse at one of my old day jobs. Hey, we're just like you guys. Remember, we work in warehouses. We're out there on the forklifts with wearing our pennies and stuff like that. We work together at a
high vis, Pat. If you're actually in the industry,
I'm not.
You know it's called high vis.
I'm an indoor cat. What my pen? I'm an indoor
cat.
I was working with my friend at a medical or my brother. He's not my friend. My brother at a medical supply warehouse, and I remember it's
a very forced relationship.
My mom also worked at the same warehouse and would
not your friend either.
No, not at all. She would make him lunch every single day, and he's the oldest of three brothers, my oldest brother, and he one day came in late from a doctor's appointment. and had when he opened up his filing cabinet to put his bag into, when he opened the filing cabinet, he discovered, oh yeah, I forgot, I brought McDonald's to work yesterday with me. And then proceeded to eat the leftover McDonald's that had been sitting in a filing cabinet in the Florida warehouse for 24 hours, then ate the entire lunch my mom made him that day instead of just saving it for the next day and not having her to make a lunch. It was he's a
you reminded me.
He has to
you reminded me the other thing. A lot of people are not taught like when shit goes bad. Like I had to. They left a bunch of stuff out. And what the fuck was it? Oh yeah, they'll like do a thing like if we'll get a bunch of shit to be like, hey, it's fucking, what month are we in? November. It's November birthdays. Here's a bunch of random fucking pastries, and they'll get like bagels and cream cheese and shit, and they'll put it out there in the day, put it back in the fridge. Next day, put it back out. And on the third day that they let cream cheese sit outside for like a whole day straight,
Yeah.
I took it. It was an executive decision. I was like, we're throwing this out. We're getting rid of this. You guys are going to kill yourselves.
Yeah, this is bad. You're going to have parasites or something in you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that same thing, like, I don't think McDonald's food goes bad. I don't think it was ever good necessarily. But
there's a point. I mean, I get it. Everyone has their fun little experiments where they're like, I stapled this McDonald's to the wall and, it's still like not going bad. And you're like, yeah, we know what McDonald's is. It's not for dinner. It's for sad times at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you're not supposed to plan it. You don't plan to go to McDonald's.
Yo, for real.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you guys got to figure out with McDonald's. Just don't do it for dinner. Do it. Yeah. Like, you can do it around dinner time, but, like, McDonald's is an impulsive decision. It's not like we have to get dinner for the family. You know what I mean? It's after you go to church, and then you're on the way home from church, and the kids are like, Daddy, can we get McDonald's? And he's like, all right, you little pieces of shit.
You're either hungover or you forgot your lunch. Either one of those things.
Or you just praise the Lord.
Yeah, or you have just praised the Lord, or you're like, man, I got a hankering for some diarrhea. And I'm gonna go get it.
I have no diarrhea. I better go get some diarrhea. So let's hop into this podcast. I do want to do you, Pat. Ew. You're cute. I do want to do a little bit of house cleaning, just as a heads up. I was trying out a thing. You guys may have noticed we would stream the podcast. I'd re-upload it on Monday night, do a whole fucking shebang-a-bang, this and that. Because I got it in my head that would do something with the views or it would make things better. It didn't do anything different. So you know what we're doing now? Not that. We're streaming it and we're just fucking putting it up. And I got to be honest, Pat, it actually, the way YouTube, bless you, the way YouTube breaks it up and shit like that, with all this content we're pumping out in between podcasts, buddy, we need to separate it. There's so much content every goddamn week, because that's what YouTube does. They have the videos, then you have your streams, and they kind of separate the streams from the video. But here's the thing, Pat. We're doing what, like 3-4 reactions a week?
I mean,
an album review.
At least.
We're talking about how nice Megan Thee Stallion's butt is. Actually, I cut that part out.
I enjoyed it. But in case anybody doesn't know, it's a great butt.
It's a great butt. And if you were at the New Music Friday stream at twitch.tv/BigRed, you would have found out how horny Megan Thee Stallion makes us. But now, you don't. And that sucks for you, dude.
You missed out. And it's okay, I guess, if you like missing out on shit. But I think we need to explore a little bit more with the we've been pretty consistent. We've been pretty consistent with this stuff, and I think, but we exploring these different options about content, because like you said, we don't want people to miss out. Obviously, it can be daunting sometimes if you see a 2-hour video. We're gonna chop it up for you. We're gonna give you the Megan Thee Stallion butt reaction. We got clips. We got everything else you need. So we'll just go back old school, and honestly, you guys are gonna love it either way. I know you will.
Yeah. Or else.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That was a threat. No, not a lot of people know the Men's Warehouse thing is a threat.
What was the Men's Warehouse thing?
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. It's done menacingly with a gun and pointing at you.
While he rubs his temple.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. I fucking guarantee it. Because if you don't, there was a double ellipses that they didn't include. That was because if you don't, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. Okay,
Kablowie.
Okay?
And for the YouTube censors, that's a joke. That's a parody.
Yeah, obviously,
we need to hear. This is really why I want freedom of speech and just a free, open internet. Is I want to make suicide jokes without worrying, because they're funny.
Right,
it's funny.
Especially, I feel like, especially if you're making a suicide joke about yourself. That was obviously the Men's Warehouse ad that we pitched to them, and they did not accept that. Actually, they did tell us to cease and desist. Whatever
that would be a fun. That'd be a fun thing to be part of an advertising firm, where you're like Mad Men, and you go in, you're like, all right, here's the idea, Gillette. You have a video of you holding a gun up to a preschooler and you say, buy Gillette or else.
I thought you were gonna streamline that one. I thought it was gonna be like, all right, so we're in Gillette, right? Picture this: guy's sitting in the bathtub. He opens up a fresh pack of razors.
Like,
Christmas music playing.
You want to finish this early? Gillette.
Yeah. Are you done?
So let's I want to hop into this topic first because it's actually like the most boring of all the topics, and I want to get it out of the fucking way because I do have some fun shit I want to bring up. There's been a lot of great funny things happening on Twitter that we can watch the video and make fun of people for. It's one of those weeks on Drag the Lake. But the actual real news is I messaged you about this today, Pat. But basically Spotify has shifted up their rules on how they're dishing out revenue and payments and stuff like that. And a lot of people are in a fucking tizzy about it. And I wanted to talk about it just because, you know, a lot of times you'll see these topics, it'll be the trending topic. You'll go, okay, yeah, if I put like this week, if I put Spotify in the title, it'll get fucking views. But at the same time, I don't care because I'm not mad at Spotify. But then I start, you know, so I'm like, let's go. Oh, look, someone punched a guy in a mosh pit. That's what I want to talk about.
Right.
You know, you want to talk about the real news out there.
Yeah, we obviously there's breaking news, and we'd rather have our breaking news be with something breaking in it. You know?
Yeah, we would rather our breaking news be your face.
Yeah, somebody getting broken.
But then I see all these opinions out there, and I'm just like, okay, you guys it's bad take city. It's just bad take city out there, and I gotta be the fucking RoboCop to go into bad take city and bring back justice. That's how RoboCop went, right? You know what? Let's not check. But basically, so I was telling you about it. Did you actually like look into it, or do you want me to?
I would love. No, I did not look into it because I figured we were going to touch on it a little bit, and what you would be able to give me the cliff notes because this changes all the time. Did they go with giving the artist a lot more money?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing is Spotify switched up the way that they're dishing out like the revenue, and it's basically a thing of like if you're it's two things. One, if you're putting up music on Spotify and you can't break more than 1,000 listens a song, you basically aren't eligible to get revenue. And then the other part of it is there's a lot of people with AI, like a lot of AI artists and stuff posting a shit ton of content up there. There's sort of a lot of people gaming the system, and Spotify's trying to figure out who's gaming the system and basically trying to get them off, which, you know, is a little bit, you know, a lot of people are reacting to that going like, that's a little bit confusing because it's like you have people on the app, people are using your app, so why are you trying to get them off? But then I'd bring up, it's like, did you guys forget what you were crying about? Is because you're always crying about how Spotify's not giving enough money to the real artists. So they're trying to get these people who are making these like bullshit sleep sound things. And, you know, you listen to it for 5 minutes, go to bed, but now this is playing on a loop for 8 fucking hours, and they're making a bunch more money than the actual, like, real touring artists and stuff like that. So that seems like a bunch of people crying about nothing. But the one that was, like, really irking me is people are really getting mad over you're not allowed to make, like, they're basically taking, like, I guess you're getting demonetized if you can't get more than 1,000 plays a song. And a lot of people are getting mad about that. And I'm just looking at that like, you know, that would be irritating if that wasn't how every other one of these websites does it. That's how it works for us on YouTube. Yeah, that's literally why we can't. That's like, you know, let's pull the curtain back and let you guys know how little views we get. Is we can't monetize yet because we don't get like, it's something like 4,000 yearly watch hours or something like that. Like that's part of YouTube. We have the subscribers, but we need, which by the way, subscribe, watch the fucking channel. Yeah. Let us make money off your stupid faces for fuck's sake, dude.
Hey, you're watching it anyway. Help us out, Jesus.
God, or just mail me money. Just put money in an envelope and give it to me.
Help me accomplish my dreams. Come on.
God damn it. Let me have a fake job.
that was the exact that was the point I was going to bring up too, was the fact that people. So this, I do understand that, and the reason I think a lot of people don't understand why Spotify does have to get rid of these, like you call them, like the people that are gaming the system, bands that
Yeah.
are making these silent albums. Because I was going to bring that point up, was the fact that like them existing, and that like to me that was like the Waze GPS app, like when they
Yeah.
have thing where they're like, and how certain like states will say like it's illegal to have radar detectors and shit. The majority, or the powers to that be, never like it when you game the system, or you figure out a way to trick them, because it makes them have to work harder. So like, the logical reason why Spotify would have to do this would be because if a band like I don't a huge band like Tay Tay, Taylor Swift said, I made this fucking sleep study thing or whatever. I made this sleep song that's just a silent album that just plays on repeat and gets her more plays. If she ended up doing that and told all of her fans to listen to it, it would break Spotify. Spotify would be done
Yeah.
forever. So I do support it 100% for bands that are getting those less plays to game the system and figure out a way to get more people, because it's a clever idea. I'm sure it's been done a million times by now. I'm sure different adaptations, but the main problem is this isn't going to solve this problem, but then they're going to figure out a new way to figure it out. And I support it. I do support it because, like you said, it's they figured out a way to make money off it, like per your
Yeah.
system. And also
The
I
gaming the system. Wait, you're talking about gaming the system?
yeah like
Yeah,
I support
I personally don't care either way. Like, it's Spotify, they're a big corporation. If you game the system, have fun. But also on the flip side, if Spotify feels like cracking down on you guys,
yeah
I'll be straight up. Like, I'm not saying this with like a fuck you to it, but I just don't care. I don't care that Spotify's fucking cracking down on you guys, because it's within their right. And to be perfectly honest, like, if you look at people in actual bands and stuff, I don't have a lot of sympathy for it.
I do feel like there should be somewhat of a grandfathering in, but again, that's still not going to help them. Whatever has released under the system, because there is a weird thing, because, like us, the same idea, to put ourselves in a scenario similar to that. Say we do get to a point where we are at 1,000 watch hours or whatever it is, and we got that minimum requirement to monetize on YouTube, but right before that monetization, YouTube changes it, and it's like, it sucks, and it's totally within their right, but it's just, I don't know, in the sense of like, doing business, because Spotify is a free service as well as a paid service. They do offer free.
Yeah, and in the context of the service they provide, that's another element of this where you're like, and I know this is a little bit, I'm kind of being a little black and white on this, so I understand that there's more nuance to this, but there is a degree where it's like, okay, you don't like Spotify, you don't like what they're doing, leave Spotify then. And then everyone's going to go, well, then, and you're like, exactly.
Right.
So you got to remember, there's a reason why you haven't left Spotify yet. It's, and like, that's another part, because people always, I want to talk about the money too, because people will always go to the money. That's why people get into the tizzy about like, oh, you're ruining small artists. It's like, no. They're taking away monetization from people who can't break 1,000 views, or 1,000 listens. I was crunching the numbers. So basically, to make $1 on Spotify, you have to essentially get 250 views, or 250 listens. My brain's in YouTube brain. So you have to get 250 listens to break $1. So just know we're talking about like $4. You know what I'm saying? So, and to put it in bigger context, you take some of these bigger bands, a band we talk about all the time, Knocked Loose. I looked them up. Knocked Loose gets about 1 million listens a year, which that's so many listens. If you break down the numbers, that factors out to about $4,000. So just put that in context. A band like Knock Loose, who's getting 1 million listens a year, they're only getting $4,000. And then the next step of that is people go, well, Spotify should just pay them more then. It's like, well, I looked into that. You know how they do the fucking payouts? They basically collect all of their subscription money, and they take like 30% goes to Spotify to pay for service, to pay to pay for the streaming, do all the stuff, pay their employees, get a little bit of a profit, yada, yada, yada. And then about 70% goes into this thing called a profit pool for the bands. And then they take, it's basically however many listens you got, that percentage based off everyone else on Spotify, you get sent that percentage. So it's literally like, that was the irony of this whole situation. If you really crunch the numbers, you're like, oh, Spotify's actually the most fair when it comes to this shit.
Yeah. That's what it seems like. And it's also, again, it's not, we talked about this on our live stream when we were talking about bands that aren't putting up their latest stuff on Spotify. I don't know if it was a protest to this or whatever it may be, or if they just don't feel like they need to have a presence, but you have to have a presence on there. But much like we do with a lot of our podcasts or some of our other extracurricular podcasts, other things we do, it's not necessarily about the money. It's about getting to the point of getting the money, building the audience. It's almost another social media that you can put out content and get people to listen or stream or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it would be nice to have that extra $4,000 a month or something like that. Obviously it's money, it's revenue, it's plays, it's advertising, it's whatever it may be, but to rely on it or to rail against it or anything, I don't know. They don't charge, as long as they're not charging artists to do that. They're not.
Well, and you know what the irony is? You know what the irony of the whole shit is people just hyper focus on just Spotify, and it's like, no, you gotta zoom out and look at more places where bands make money. Like a perfect example is, I'm trying to like a band like End It. We've been joking about me buying the bootleg t-shirt and shit like that. But even if I didn't, and I ended up buying 2 t-shirts because I got the bootleg, that ended up being like, I ended up spending $60 or $70 with End It. But the funny part is I listen to End It, but they're not in my daily rotation. Like Kubla Khan, Knock Loose, they're kind of in my daily rotation. End It isn't in that rotation. So listen wise, I've probably given End It, I don't know, 50 cents. Like they've probably made 50 cents off me. But just by the sheer fact that their music's on Spotify, I follow them on social media, I listen to that, I'm aware of them like that. Boom, they got like $70 from me. So they've actually, because they're on Spotify and I'm able to listen to them so easily, they've made more money off of me. And when they come near here, there's a high likelihood I'll go see them, all that shit. So, that's the other part of this, that people just hyper focus on that one thing. Now, we could have the discussion, like, could they be making more money? Could they be figuring out something to get the artist more money? Yada yada yada. But like I said before, you gotta look at things in reference to what else is going on. You don't have to sit there and go. Now, you don't have to sit there and go, this is the best option, so it's perfect, and I'll never say a thing about it. It's like, no, you point out what's wrong with it so things can get better, but also at the same time, in your criticism, you have to look at it like, how does this compare to everything else? And like I said before, Spotify actually breaks down to being the best app for all that shit. That's the irony of this whole situation. Out of like fucking Twitch, if someone subscribes on Twitch gets 50% of that subscription. I know YouTube, it's not as good. It's like I saw some dude talking about YouTube does like a 60-40 split. It's just ironic because that Spotify actually has the best way of doing it.
I think it's just more of, I like that Spotify is trying to figure out ways that they can pay, because again, they have to figure out ways to pay those other more successful artists or the ones that have more followers or listens or anything like that monthly. But like, they also, I don't like them actively trying to figure out ways to not pay other artists that figure out ways to like we said, game the system. I do, but that is self-preservation. They're a company that is providing a service to people for limited, fees and stuff like that.
So, can
But
I say this?
yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that the reason stuff like that doesn't bother me is because that's sort of the thing. I'm trying to think of like a real life example. It's almost like if you go at McDonald's and you get a cup and you're like, I'm just using this for water. And then they catch you putting Coke in it and they're like, all right, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, you got caught. Which,
Yeah.
it's like you got caught, and because those are their rules, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, and I'll give Spotify credit. I read a story a while ago. This band, they were trying to raise money for tour, so they actually put out an album that was like 10 tracks that were all completely silent, and they had their fans play that track when they would go to sleep, and over the course of like a month or two they raised like $20,000 for tour, and Spotify caught them doing that, and Spotify goes, all right, you can keep the money, but we're not doing this anymore.
Right.
So
and that's the point. Is I had that once at a McDonald's where I was one of those scoundrels that got a water cup and filled it up with Sprite. I tried to even get him the benefit of the doubt and got Sprite.
woo,
And I was just one of
woo.
those things of like, what are you talking about? This is water. What do you mean? It's
It's
clear.
fuzzy water, dude. What are you talking about?
This is my point. This is where it does get bad, and I'm glad that Spotify at least let them keep the money. But she made me fucking throw it out. Like it was like one of those things of like, all right, well, I get it, but I wouldn't you either charge me for it or like I don't know,
Yeah,
kick me
see
out
that
or something like that. It's
that
like
I hate that lady, because I understand them enforcing rules because you have to keep a sense of order. There has
I
to
get it. Yeah,
be, that's why you enforce those rules, because people
right.
go, what's the big deal? And it's like, no, you got to enforce certain rules just to keep a sense of order. But
Right.
then when she goes, you have to dump the Sprite out. You're almost like, hey, none of this is real. This
Yeah.
isn't real. So
Yeah.
just like, let me keep the Sprite, but okay, I got caught. I won't do this until a new bitch is working the
Yeah, I'll
register.
do it next time. I'll just do it whenever I want again. I'll do it anytime I want because it's one of those things of like, it's not your soda, stupid. But I
Yeah.
do understand. Like, stop.
McDonald's doesn't care. They're not proud of you.
Yeah, exactly. What are you really doing here? Spotify again. I do understand self-preservation. They gotta save their business model somewhat, but it's just there's gonna be another version of the water cup later on. But as long as they're not making them throw the soda out,
Yeah.
needless to say. But I do think there should be a grandfathered in thing where like if a band figured out a way for their fans to listen to. By the way, also, how shitty of a band do you have to be to put out a silent album that is your best playing album? I understand that you can turn your volume down, guys. That's another thing that I don't think any band seems to realize at all. Tell your fans you can continuously stream our album with the volume down.
Well, then well, you always do the duh. It's not like it's not a full duh, because they put out the album so people could listen to it when they go to bed, and if they turn their volume all the way down, then they're not going to hear their alarm in the morning. Duh.
Your alarm volume separate. If anybody has
thing, that's not a thing.
All right, I'm going into settings right now.
No, we're not doing this. We're not.
I'm showing you.
We're not spending the time to prove me wrong on something you might be right on.
Ringtone, voicemail, reminders, lock sound, alerts. You can set different ones.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm no genius, I guess. But don't get pissed off when somebody figures out how to. Like, I don't think they're pissed off, but I'm sure.
No, I mean, but like, I don't know if they're pissed off. I mean, I think they're just because like back in reference to the water cup thing, it's like it's like it's totally fair for them to be like, yo, don't put soda in there, skedaddle.
Yeah, get on.
Because I just gotta keep making the point. Like, I do not care. That's like AI musicians, people gaming the system. Like, more power to you. If you can game the system, more power to you. Have fun. But it's also well within Spotify's right to clamp down on those people. It's like it's kind of a coexistence, because that's the thing. There's always going to be people trying to put soda in their cup, and more power to you. Put soda in that fucking water cup. Who cares about McDonald's?
I just started bringing my own cup.
But also to keep order to this world, McDonald's has to be, hey, skedaddle. It's like that coexistence.
Yeah, mine hired a bunch of Koreans to stand on top of their soda machines with guns.
God damn, dude! Fuck, you guys got the rooftop Koreans at your McDonald's.
One of those things, Mao, Mao, and I'm like, all right, sorry.
That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite memes in 2020 when all those mostly peaceful protests. When all that was happening, people kept putting these memes where they'd see like all the riots happening, and then they'd post this meme, and it would just say like "rooftop Koreans intensifies."
That was the gauge.
Yeah, it's like, the rooftop Korean in me is intensifying right now.
But yeah, either way, yeah, Spotify is within their rights, and I'm glad that was a good talk. We had a good music talk just now, guys.
Hell yeah! So I got a bunch of fun little clips, music wise. Go check out what we talked about on the YouTube channel here. It was a good music week. It was a lot of smaller bands. We played some shit. We talked about it over there. So go look at it over there. But there was a bunch of little clips and bad takes that I wanted to talk about. I don't know where I want to start, because I have two things. You know what? This one's gonna be more fun watching you get gassed up over this.
Sounds like you're the one gassed up here, buddy.
I'm pretty well. We've also been burping the same amount. No, dude. You know why? You know why I'm fucking gassy?
Tell me about it,
bro. I was so proud of myself. We've been trying to save money, not doing as much takeout. So we've been taking turns making dinner. Steph made me lasagna last week, and then I made crispy chicken sandwiches last night. And my gauge, now crispy chicken sandwiches, nothing complicated, but my gauge on doing any of that shit, whenever I make it and I eat it and I go, if I bought this at a restaurant or a takeout spot, would I be happy with that? And I ate that crispy chicken sandwich, and I'd be like, bro, I'd pay like $8 for this. That was a good fucking time.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Dom will make like she likes to mimic stuff. I like to do that same thing where like I try to like mimic shit that you would get in a restaurant or something like that, and then you end up like
yeah.
Better. And it's
That's
always
awesome.
like it's always better. It always ends up better. Like she made fuck. Oh, damn, I can't remember the thing she just did, but like. A better example would be Olive Garden zuppa, like the first time I ever had Italian zuppa, zuppa toscana, which is like the cream based one with the kale and potatoes and sausage and shit like that. I'm like, this is okay. I had it like forever ago, and like because I grew up in a household sans flavor, didn't have any flavor from
fat Floridians, we know.
Yeah, terrible. And lots of tasteless crispy chicken sandwiches made on George Foreman grills. So when I had this, I was like, this is pretty good. But like, I was like, I want to try to make some of the soups that I really like. And the way I altered it up, a little extra garlic, a little extra this, a little better sausage, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, fuck, dude, like I need to give Olive Garden my recipe, because Olive Garden is not only good Italian food, but it could be better. Honestly, if I'm being honest, it could be better.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not trying to get too hot with my takes tonight, but Olive Garden food is honestly, I've had better Italian food.
It's Olive Garden, not super authentic, dude.
No, it turns out not really authentic at all. Apparently, you're not supposed to use Jimmy Dean sausage, but I do.
Okay, so I want to show you this. I'm gonna do audio down because I don't feel like dealing with the copyright or whatever the fuck. Okay. But so I'll describe it as we play it. But we have another case of so basically, so right here. Oh, God damn it! God damn it!
God damn it, guys!
God damn it!
Damn it!
God fucking damn it! Oh yeah, so basically we have some cool kids at a wedding playing Spirit Box and just like going for it. And we've played Spirit Box a bunch of times. They got some heavy chuggas and some riffs and shit like that. And dude, I've been letting this go. I've seen a slew of this. There's a few people trying to play fucking like Knock Loose at weddings, and we've talked about it before. I love Knock Loose. I love them to death. And we got people playing Turnstile, another band I like a lot. And and I gotta say, dude, as a person who's a fan of most of these bands, we gotta cut this the fuck out. This has to be one of the most fucking annoying things a person could do at a wedding. You know what I mean? Short of making like a best man speech and being like, "Oh, Jimmy, we sure fucked a lot of whores down in Tijuana." That's might be the first worst thing to do at a wedding. Yeah. But this whole fucking craze where, like, I don't know, maybe I just grew up being like, you know, you and me, we get fucked up a lot. And a lot of times, I'm sure we've experienced that person who, like, or what am I trying to say? Like, you've been out doing a thing and someone's getting, okay, you're getting like fucked up with people, but you have that one friend who's getting a little bit more fucked up than everyone else. And that one friend is getting insecure that they're more fucked up. So they start encouraging everyone else to get more and I'm just like, dude, I've never been that person. Like if I would go out and I'm up on cash or there's like an open bar, I'm completely secure getting the amount of fucked up I want to get fucked up. Yeah. And when I'm listening to my music, I'm secure with like listening. It's like I don't have to show the whole fucking wedding. Like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so fucking cool if we played metal right now? Like grandma and grandpa are right over there. We're going to like, I don't know, man. I'm very curious about your take, but this behavior is hands down one of the most obnoxious things like I can imagine.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's almost the same way when like a bride and groom choreographs like a lightsaber battle, or even the same thing in one of my personal loves, jujitsu. I've seen a couple times where a bride and groom, instead of like a first dance, they'll do a first roll, where like they'll roll, and it's like you're watching everybody watch and all right, I'm gonna say,
dude, I might have something worse than that, but go on.
But there's kind of an unwritten rule in jiu-jitsu where like I'm going to say a really controversial thing here, Andy. A lot of times men are stronger than women. And
get the fuck out of my stream.
I have never seen a guy tap his wife at their wedding. And it's one of those things of like, I've seen it a lot of times, way too many times to see, and it makes me cringe. It makes me go like, I love jujitsu. I would love to do jujitsu instead of go to your wedding. But there's no time ever where I think it would be cool or fun or funny or cute or acceptable to make my thing the center of attention, because that's already what you're doing. You're already making you the center of attention. So why are you saying, this is my favorite band too? Like, all right, are we just going to sit here and go like, I really like this food and I really like that cake and I really like this kind of booze and I really like this band? Like, okay, we're here to celebrate your love. We don't give a shit about your fucking playlist, dude. Like, I learned this firsthand when I was making my playlist for my wedding. I tried to find a lot of songs by bands or like covers of songs that I knew that the older people or some of my other family members would be familiar with, some classics, some yacht rock, a little bit of hip hop, but stuff that we all liked, right? Because I found out pretty soon that no matter how much I really love that Rancid song, it's not really appropriate for this band or for this party. This is a party that you're throwing for everyone else because they made a point to come out and celebrate your love with you. So as a thank you, you're trying to throw the best party imaginable. Do you think Nona and Papa love fucking Knock Loose? Do you think that your fucking your auntie wants to hear Converge? Like, it's not cute. They don't, and for the most, like, it's for the clip, it's for you to try to get retweeted by the band or some shit, like, because otherwise, even in 10 years, you're not going to even like that yourself. I guarantee it. My wife and I danced. We almost chose a Follow Troy song to dance to. Do you know how stupid that would have been?
Yeah, dude, like I even get cringes because I thought it was funny. Like, you remember when we all came out? We came out to wrestling music.
Yeah.
The bridesmaids came out to Kurt Angle's music. The groomsmen came out to Chris Jericho's music. Then
Chris
me and
Benoit.
Steph came. Yeah, Chris Benoit, dude. I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid to come out to Chris Benoit, dude. But and then me and Steph came out to Stone Cold's music, and I fucking loved it. And then I thank God we didn't post it, because I didn't even realize it afterwards. I was like, oh, everyone comes out to Stone Cold's music. I felt like such a fucking hand job. Now, I will say this. My saving grace was I didn't, like, one of us didn't stunner the other one. We just came out and I threw my hands up. Like, that's all. So, yeah, we just wanted to come out to wrestling music because it was funny. But I can't find this fucking video. But
bits are okay. Bits are okay.
What?
Like, I feel like a bit song is okay, but like that's not a bit. You're playing a song and you're making, and the other 17 people that are really big fans of that thing too, which again, it's your party, whatever, do whatever. But like, you're playing the song so all you guys can go out there and just sing along with the song or something like that. Like, it's not for anybody else. But a bit, like when Dom and I said I do, and we did, and they said, now we pronounce you husband and wife, and then you turn around and everybody claps. I specifically asked for the song "Another One Bites the Dust." That's a cute little, I get it, but it's also a cool song, and it doesn't really matter because it's supposed to start the reception, and that's supposed to start the party, and that's a funny song that is, dude. I put so much thought into my playlist. This really pisses me off. Sorry. Oh, that was it. No. I was closing it out.
Okay, I was gonna say I had I was like, I brought this up and I was like, okay. No, yeah, no, I can't find an actual fucking video, but I have, like, this is a screenshot. They were doing like cleans, which is basically like you have the barbell down by your ankles and you bring it up to your chest like this, and it's just. And dude, it's like you were saying earlier, they're just doing it for the fucking video and shit like that, because you got to imagine this, like, what's the fucking moment that, like, where'd these barbells come from? Oh my God, maybe we'll just, dude, that one was the cringiest fucking one I've ever seen. It hurt. It was uncomfortable.
With the amount of work that went into that fucking bit that they wanted to do. Like I said, the bride and groom rolling around in their tux and the wedding dress, that I will say can be a funny visual, is the fact that, like, oh, they're fighting.
Wait, which one?
The jujitsu one. Like, if they were to roll like jujitsu in their tux and
nah, that one sucks just as much.
But like it's a, like I said, it's a 2-second little haha, and then it's like, oh, they're just okay. Yep. And then, like,
yeah.
And then, oh, look at it. The woman armbarred him because.
Well, and you know what the other element of it is too is, like, I get it. I get it. Like, being the wedding is your day, but also you got to realize what it took for everyone to show up to your day, and you have to be, you have to kind of be considerate of that. That's why. Like, when people do, now I get it for financial reasons. Not everyone is in as good of a financial situation, but please, if you can we not do Friday, Sunday weddings? That's like, I'll put it this way, because like I do, I don't want to be, I don't, what?
We are a Friday wedding. You know how I know every
that's
time.
Why that's why I say I understand if you can't do a Saturday wedding, but if you can and you're just being cheap, don't do the fucking Friday wedding. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, I know that we ended up getting I think it was a Friday at a Thursday rate, and it was pretty rad that we were like, fuck yeah. Because because legitimately we're trying to think of, we were doing it all ourselves, just Dom and I. Like, we didn't have the father pays for this, the mother pays for that. Like,
yeah.
We're fucking, my mom helped me out us out a lot, totally, but we didn't have like a ton of money pouring in or anything like that. So we're doing it on a budget for sure. But actually, it's a funny story. This reminded me of, I ended up yelling at the lead of a funeral procession once, because and I said, don't blame me because you wanted to save money by doing it on Friday, dickhead.
Yeah, what?
They were getting on the highway. I mean, it's a long.
No. What's the fucking? Yo, you just realized you were wrong. I think we just saw Pat not fully.
No. I was fine. The funeral procession itself was disjointed. They didn't explain to them how it was going, and they were just kind of cruising down in the left-hand lane, wanting to merge onto the highway. And I'll be honest with you.
Wait. Merge onto the highway from the left lane. What are we talking about?
From a surface street, like to show.
Did you say surface street?
Yeah, like one that's not.
That mean?
Like local roads. What are you talking about? You've never heard
this?
What are you talking about? Hold on a second. Stop interrupting. First of all, shut up.
Okay,
Let me say
all right. This is where I have the mute button. Let's not get spicy.
If you want, I mean, but I'll keep talking. I don't know.
I was just wondering if you were. Why'd you say surface street? Were you trying to call me a dumb motherfucker?
Well, I was trying to use the term that I thought would have been the most understandable, but the road that goes up to where the exit would be to get on the highway. That seems like a lot more words. The surface street to go.
You don't get on the highway from the left lane.
Maybe not in Jersey, you fucking dumbasses, but like in everywhere else they do that.
What are you talking about?
83. I was on. Okay. All right. All right, Andy. So I was driving down Walnut.
No. Talk normal. Don't use the condescending voice.
I'm not. I'm giving you exact details. I tried to sum it up, but I'm driving down Route 22, which is Walnut Street, but it turns into 22 towards the Best Buy, and like there's a Red Lobster and stuff like that down there. But before that, there's an exit on the left where you can merge. You can get onto the highway. That's going to be headed towards, I believe it's Hazleton or maybe Allentown. You're near your way where you used to grow up, where you did grow up. You didn't used to. You did it. But they were all in the left-hand lane, and they all had their little doohickey on. Some of them had flashers on, some of them didn't. I know a lot of other traffic laws. I pride myself in knowing the right thing to do in almost every traffic situation. I still don't know the rule necessarily of a funeral procession. So my first thought was, I think I need to slow down. I don't think I can like pass them. I think we're supposed to like stop like it's an emergency vehicle, right? Like you're not supposed to break them up. But then I'm like,
you're not supposed to get in, but you're supposed to keep them as one.
Yeah, you're not supposed to split them up, right? That's what I was like, wait, I think that's what it is, because they can't expect people to stop because they're getting on the highway. People aren't going to stop. You're not the president. You know what I mean? Like
they're in the left lane. They're in the left lane of a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
And where's the exit for the highway?
It's at the light. Like you go to the light here. So I'm just trying to go past them. So because I was going to go up to Guitar Center, and they're in the left.
You're trying to go around them.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, I was
same exit though.
No, not even the exit. They were just all bunched up because they were waiting at the exit to get on, but the light was red. So I went up past them to go to drive past them when the light turned green, and the guy at the front was like beep 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 beep, beep, like you piece of shit, this is my daddy or whatever. I don't know, and I just rolled my window.
You were going the same way as them?
Yeah, I was going this way. Yeah,
but like they're going straight and you're going straight.
Right.
I just don't see how you're getting in their way. I don't see how you're getting in their way to piss this guy off.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Is like this guy was like kept beeping at people that were driving past them. But it was like,
why didn't you yell at him then? You should have yelled at him, dude. It sounds like they were being dickheads. I don't know what the fuck. And I don't know why you didn't I don't know why you didn't yell at him this whole time. Anyway, Pat, next topic. Let's go on to the next topic, Pat. You didn't fucking yell at. No, you didn't yell at him, and that's the fucking problem. So let's go on to the next topic, Pat. Everyone wants to hear the next topic.
A Friday morning at 8:30 in the morning too. Like, what are you fucking thinking about doing? A Friday morning funeral where you all just want to mosey on over to the funeral? Get it? The carpool, dickheads. It's
funeral. Yeah. Dude, die on a Friday, have it on a Sunday. That's what I say, dude.
Yeah, just like the Lord, man.
But like I said, dude, you should have just yelled at him at some point. I don't know.
I don't know why I said anything. Honestly, it's one of my biggest regrets. I'm glad we're on the same page.
What?
I said I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't disagree on any of that. But so I wanted to show you. I saw this clip going around, and similar like the Spotify topic, a lot of people just going one way, and I'm just sitting here like, yo, am I the only motherfucker that sees this for what it is? But I'm very, very curious about what your perspective on this one is, Pat. I was very excited. So I saw a lot of people posting this. It's basically. So to put it to, because the meat of the clip kind of, well, I don't know. We'll just play it. Basically, what was happening was these dudes were going to fucking karaoke, and they were playing like a heavier song, or I can't tell which song they were doing, but regardless, they were screaming like in a screamo band over the fucking microphone, and then this happened.
Nobody's gonna holler at my microphone. I'm sorry. You no. It blows my speakers out. Laugh. It's funny. Laugh. It's funny. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm not gonna have my equipment blow. No. There's no reason to do that. No reason to do that. I am stuck, Michael. I'm so sorry. But you damaged my equipment. Dude, when did you say there were rules?
Oh my god, dude!
Wait,
you can't be old enough. You can't be old enough to drink at a bar and talk like that. Like, dude, you didn't say there were any fucking rules.
Yeah, dude. What is?
What do you mean, common sense? You don't scream in your microphone. I can see people that scream with their microphone.
Dude, so you know what I think this is, if I may, you know what I think this is? It's like I think it's part of the fact that we're in such like an internet stage of life that people get so inundated to their own world. And, it's kind of like the thing we were talking about with playing like fucking Knock Loose at your wedding. You're so like locked into your own thing. You can't fully comprehend how obnoxious and annoying this is for the like average person at your wedding. And this is the same case. Like these kids probably listen to heavy music. They listen to hardcore and metal all the time. Oh my God, it'd be so cool. What if someone actually went to fucking karaoke and fucking did metal? And this old dude, he probably listens to like fucking Credence and fucking Jethro Tull and shit like that. And these dudes start going like into his microphone. He's going, what in the goddamn hell is this?
What is a cotton picking son of a goddamn cotton? That guy is, first of all, if I may, the old man scream is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, someone needs to get him in a band, dude.
This is like his fucking rock star moment where he just got discovered by mocking these two douchebags. So what is the general consensus? Is the fact that like this guy's an old fogey and how dare he yell at these children?
I saw a lot of people online being like, because if you saw the tag down there, it said "Boomer." Now the person posting this is being funny because they go, "Boomer ruins Young Buck's chance to impress the alt goth baddies." But I do think the general consensus for a lot of people online that at least I saw were like, what's the big deal, old man? And it's like, no, you guys are being once again, like the topic before, I probably love whatever band he likes. You know what I mean? I probably love all the same bands that this dude likes. But like, yo, you gotta understand, it's annoying as fuck to do that shit around people who don't fuck with that shit. And you're at an old man bar. You're at an old man bar. You're being a fucking dickhead. It's like you gotta go into spaces and catch the vibe. It's not on. If the overwhelming vibe isn't your shit, it's not on the area you're in to adjust to you. It's like, have some goddamn courtesy and just don't be a fucking jerk off and act like a little fucking kid, dude.
Andy, if you don't mind, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I think, not only are you wrong, but it's actually 100% that you're wrong, and it's okay. It happens to the best of us. But I'm gonna flip the script on you real quick. Old man got the equipment, doing karaoke in an old man bar. Young bucks come in, flip through his catalog, and they thumb out this here song, and they say, "This is the song we'd like to do." Old fogey goes, "Yep, I got you." Boop-a-doop-a-doop. if that's how the song is sung, there is no other way to sing that song in karaoke, especially if he is providing 2 microphones. If it was Peaches and Herb, sure. Then if like nobody, and this is another reason why you're wrong, and he's wrong, and everybody else in the goddamn world is wrong, is because if somebody goes up and sings terribly any other way in karaoke, you don't say a goddamn thing. How many times have you been to karaoke and somebody's flat or somebody's terrible and they go, yeah, hey, give it up for Ron, everybody, Ron. Like it wasn't painful for all our ears. This is actually correct. And just because you don't like it, you have the volume button there, son. Go ahead and pitch him down a bit.
Ooh. Can I are you done making a fool of yourself?
Oh, no. Actually, I just presented a rock solid case, and Yana, I rest my case.
So I mean, it's ironic you said 100% right, because you're basically giving them the benefit of the doubt. From the vibe I'm catching, it feels like they picked a normal song and they're being jerk offs.
What's this? Oh yeah, what did they actually say what the song is? What is the song?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, because if it's a screamo song, then that's in your catalog, bro. You're literally what were you wearing? You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm not trying to victim blame here, but what were you wearing, Yosemite Sam?
Yeah.
Cotton picking.
I hear you. Your logic is sound,
Thank you.
I think that's.
Thank you, everybody. Great show. We'll see you next time.
No. That's not the end of the sentence. That's not the end of the sentence. You must be new to win it. You must be. You don't seem very familiar with having good arguments. It's okay. So. No. So. In that instance, your logic is sound, but I do think you're interpreting this glass half full. I think odds are they're being kind of disruptive.
Did they bring the song? Is this like one of those things where like some jukeboxes you can pay like an astronomical amount of money, but you can pick any song, and that's very annoying. I've done that before. But as far as like, because that's the thing is, if it's made available, if it's made available.
Well, can I, Pat? I already said your logic is sound. You don't have to restate the point. We get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's if it's on the list, technically they're in the right. But also, dude, to your point earlier, it's like when someone who can't sing and they'll be like, I'm gonna do Celine Dion. I think the dude's well within his right to fucking tell that bitch to shut the fuck up. But can I say one thing? You're going, there's a volume on there. He can just turn it down. That would be a funny visual to have. Or that would be very funny to sit there while the fucking dude just turns your volume down and music still plays and you can't hear him and shit like that. That would be entertaining. But I get where that old man's coming from, because you got to imagine. It's so funny imagining his head going, what in the goddamn hell is going on? I got to stop these pieces of shit.
It's funny to me that he's like, he has that, the natural reaction, but also a fucking pretty solid guttural scream when he's mocking in a mocking term. If that guy actually did a little bit of work, that's the ironic thing, is the fact that how critical he is of this music choice, but how picture perfect his fucking voice is for that exact thing. I think, and if it's a missed opportunity if he doesn't at least do one fun track where somebody that does like the funny metal videos. Who's the guy I brought up before? John Biotic or whatever his name was from that.
Something like that.
If somebody doesn't do a fucking rip, actually, I'm going to suggest it to him. I want him either to collaborate with this guy or something, because he's got a fucking sick scream and also a fucking hair trigger temper. Also, he's a real cotton picking, rassafrassin, whatchamacallit. So and so.
Thank God he left his 6-shooter in the truck, dude.
Yeah, because
God damn it, you goddamn hardcore emo screamo motherfuckers.
The amount of time that he laid into them about it, and like his like shock. At this point, he's never heard anything like that. That's crazy. but also maybe he hasn't. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe the
Yeah.
hardest thing he's ever heard was like Johnny Cash covering Nine Inch Nails. We don't know if he ever heard the originals or anything like that. But you know,
Based off his freak out, I think that's safe to say is the truth.
but if it was like just a regular classic song or whatever that they were trying to do like a hardcore cover of it or something like that, I completely condone his actions and be like, what the fuck are you doing, dickheads? Get the fuck out of here. I totally get that.
I'll even take it a step further. Even if it's on the list, don't pick it. Because here's the thing.
Not fair.
No, it is. Don't pick the Screamo song for karaoke.
Right. I don't know. To me, like you might be able to light up a honky tonk with Salt and Pepper one, and you know what I mean? Like if it's timed right and enough people know the song, but yeah, you're not going to do it with just like The Wedding. You're not going to do it with Knock Loose or Jesus Piece. You're not going to turn any of your aunties and uncles onto a new hardcore or metal band at this special occasion, or again, honky tonk rootin' tootin' bar.
Razzle Frazzle bar.
Yeah. That's I thank you for sharing that with me, but also I can see both sides of it.
Yeah, it's, you know what it is? It's just, to me, from my perspective, that shit always like feels very cringy to me because it's stuff that when you were like 13, you'd be like, oh my God, this is so fucking badass.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're in a bar, you're at a drinking age. You like, I don't know. I to me, something like that should give you douche chills. I don't know, but maybe I'm not a free spirit. Maybe I need to open up and be a little more
spread your wings and
loosen the boots, dude.
Yeah, you gotta be a little loose in your boobs.
You're goddamn right, dude. My boobs aren't loose enough. That's a fair point. I'm sorry. My boobs aren't loose enough, dude.
Have some looser boobs.
Did you I have another thing, but did you say you had something to bring up or not? I forget.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't know, Andy. Do you like to play games?
Oh yeah, wait. Okay. I have one more thing before because I have one more thing I actually really want to bring up, and okay. I feel like games we're gonna have a good old dance with, so I want to give it enough time. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to end games. So no, I just I saw this tweet. And it's like I've heard people sort of make this general point before, and I kind of wanted to talk about it on here. So I don't actually know the bands that well that this guy is talking about, but I've heard this sort of statement made a bunch of times before. But he goes, I love Full of Hell, but they weren't the first band to combine noise and metal, y'all. I grew up in the 2000s noise scene where those distinctions weren't so rigid. Try the Boris and Merzbow stuff instead. So I've heard of Full of Hell, but I don't know who the fuck Boris and Merzbow is. I don't even know what the fuck Full of Hell sounds like, but I've heard this so many times before that people, I don't know, it's like I was saying before, people miss the bigger picture. It's never the band that started the thing that gets the thing popular.
Yeah. They never get the respect. It's Tony Woods and Dave Chappelle, right? Like, isn't that what it is? You know what I mean? Like, it's somebody who is directly influenced by somebody who, in with all due respect to both of the guys, like, are almost exactly the same. You know what I mean? Like, cadence wise, talking, not necessarily subject matter, but comfort level, like performance, delivery. I mean, you listen to, isn't it Tony Woods? Sorry, yeah, Tony Woods. And
no, I think you said Tony Woods. No, isn't that commonly known that Dave Chappelle got a lot of his, like, he learned a lot from, like, watching Tony.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Woods? Yeah. In the same way that, you know, and I'm gonna compare myself to Chappelle real quick. No, I don't. I don't mean, but it's like all comics have that. Like I'm the way I am because of fucking Patrice and Big J and Bill Burr and stuff. I've heard Big J say he's the way he is because of fucking Dave Attell. Like every comic's got that comic where they're like, oh, I do this shit because of that guy.
Right. I'm the way I am because of how much I love, you know, Bill Cosby. And, you know, I've always been a big Cosby guy, personal life, not professional. So I think there's like, we all have our influences.
I did that, dude. I did that last week with Michael Jackson.
I know.
Get your own joke.
Sorry. Like abusing people.
Stop stealing my hacky jokes, dude.
I still think that there's like a weird thing where like you're never going to it's not that the original isn't great or that it isn't awesome or anything like that, but like it's not a either or. A lot of times it's not like a, well, you should have known about, like, okay, but like we know about this. You can also say, hey, if you really like this, you'll like this also.
Yeah.
But like to say that, no, it's actually this, isn't it? Trust me, I've been that guy. It gets you nowhere. It's not gonna win any art. Most people won't believe you or won't give a fuck, and then the other half will be like, yeah, they're pretty good. Not, I like these guys better though. It's Android iPhone. It literally is Android iPhone. It's whatever you started with. Whatever you started with is pretty much what you're gonna stick with probably for the rest of the time you have a cell phone until you die. And it's just an operating system. It's either preference or it could be, it's not even user interface. A lot of times I've heard people go, Android's the easiest thing I've ever used, and other people go, Apple's the easiest thing I've ever used. Like it's just whatever you saw first. That's all that really is.
And also another way to look at it too, I always bring up the fact, like if you listen to old Blink-182 or if you listen to the Descendants, you go, oh, that's why Blink-182 sounded the way they did when they first started. But the thing is, so first off, like the people who the bands that like invent a genre, because the Descendants essentially, now I know this is an oversimplification, you could bring in a bunch of other bands, but the Descendants essentially invented pop punk. Now, the band who invents a genre, because it's so new, when they first come out with it, people don't necessarily appreciate it for what it is at the moment. It's with hindsight when you find out a bunch of bands were heavily influenced by the Descendants and shit like that, and they start making pop punk huge, and you hear it in a more digestible form and shit like that. Because if you listen to the Descendants versus Blink-182, Descendants is a dope band, but like those early Blink albums are more digestible than the Descendants. And that's the kind of shit that's going to get mainstream and it's going to get popular. And then you throw in the fucking fact that, you know, like a big factor in Blink getting popular was just like a timing thing with Nirvana changed the sort of perspective, like they changed the vibe on music. So people were looking to like harder and faster stuff. You know, it's funny to say that now, especially with all the heavy bands we talk about on this show, but a band like Blink-182 playing that fast and distorted is definitely a big change up from what people were used to back then. So timing's definitely a factor. Being the second wave of a style is a huge factor. So just, I know, like, cause it sucks. Cause a lot of times with those bands that kind of invented the shit, it usually comes with more recognition than it does money. So it as you know, when you see these bands not being as successful, it does hurt as a fan sometimes, but that's just the way it is. The people who invent a genre are never the biggest group in that genre. It's always the people who get influenced by the people who invent that genre.
It's not necessarily one of my favorite, like I think sayings or whatever it would be, it's not about who's first, it's about who's last, kind of thing. Like that's a big thing with a lot of these bands, that if they're really meant to blow up or to get big or successful or whatever, that's going to happen after time, but it's not going to be exactly when that other band is blowing up.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be like, well, if you like that, you'll like this. Like just hope that this opens up doors for bigger bands like that have been around longer. And you know, because there's no such thing as luck, Andy. It's just when opportunity meets hard work. So if those bands are truly worthy and actually know what the fuck they're doing, the fact that this is becoming a thing, or if that band is making that combination, like in this case, well, like metal and noise, like if that's a thing that has been done better than other bands, then we'll find it. This is just opening that door to it. It's not an either or. It's well, and
so to what you said, you were saying it's not always who's first. It's sometimes it's who's last. But also, don't forget, if you're not first, you're last. So that's a key component. Shout out Ricky Bobby. And but no, you actually made a great point too, where even in the Blink-182 Descendants conversation, It's like, you know, I remember a while ago we talked about that Descendants documentary, and I was like, oh, these guys are pretty cool. And then I went back to listen to Descendants, and I go, damn it. When you get out of Milo Goes to College, it really falls off, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Blink-182. Like, what was it? Like Dude Ranch bodies most Descendant songs. Let's be real. No disrespect to the Descendants, but just on a pure listening standpoint, Dude Ranch bodies the Descendants. It just does.
When you take the ball and also look at the albums they've written since then, even like the fact that they're changing and growing and doing other things. I love the Descendants, but they're the Descendants every time, even in their newer releases. It just sounds like older, a little slower Descendants. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's not like it's not a bad thing. It's just one of those. It's sometimes I think there's bands. So like in this case, probably with this post and as well as the Descendants talk with Blink-182, I think there's certain bands that sometimes take the ball and just kind of run with it, and they continue that transition or whatever.
They take the ball, they run with it, and sometimes bands are just better.
Yeah,
Like they're just better at doing it than the original band.
And really, there's a lot of personal preference that comes in too. Like sometimes maybe like there's certain bands that I really like that are newer, or a lot of times the bands that I end up liking their newer stuff where everybody's like the real fans are like, that's bullshit, you should listen to their old shit. Like you're gonna just like what you like. Art is subjective. You're gonna like what you like. So sometimes, yeah, maybe people will go like, holy shit, I love this new band that's doing that thing. I will check out these other bands. And then sometimes I'll be like, they're all right.
Yeah.
I like this new shit. I just want to listen to the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a good pod. I think I don't really like to play games, so I think it's just a good place to end it. Oh wait, someone here does like to play games. I don't know. That was a bullshit segue. I was
trying. Guy from Saw.
Yeah, dude. It's time to play a game. Name
fucking
three Warped Tour bands, or I'm cutting your foot off.
Tricycle just came in here, Andy. I don't know what you said, that guy. Andy, I like to play games.
This is the most Pat way to bring up a topic.
Andy,
it's like, Pat, what news story do you want to talk about? I have a game.
I have a game
I
that
invented.
Well, because honestly, slow news week for me. Andy, I didn't get to see Mutoid Man, and I had a lot invested in that. I was going to go that and have a lot of fun, and probably have 2 shows worth of content from it.
Mutoid Man canceled.
In the meantime,
we missed some good shows this weekend. I hate being responsible with my money. Because fucking Dying Wish did a show with
Protest the Hero,
Foreign Hands. No, Protest and Callous. Protest and Callous Cowboys are playing tonight.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, Dying Wish and Foreign Hands.
Damn, my cat just took a shit and it stinks so bad. But do you want to...
Oh, that's right. It was fucking Dying Wish, Foreign Hands, and Boundaries. Yesterday in Philly. I should have went to that.
Yeah, why didn't we go to that?
Like on the floor? Wait, the cat took a shit like on the floor?
No, there's a litter box over there. It's a Caddick, bro.
Oh yeah, but it's fucking ripe that first minute or two of the shit.
Oh, damn, the other cat chased him out of the room because she was pissed too. But I invented a game that I think is not only they're fighting over it now.
Fighting?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, damn, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, our cats have been getting along real well lately.
Nice. Yeah, so they're not like, so they're actually starting to like to coexist and like hang out and like play together and shit.
They're playing and shit now. Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, then you're gonna be fine. Even if they do get into little tizzies every once in a while, you'll be fine. As long as they're like coexisting and playing like that, they're gonna be great.
Well, the only problem is the new cat has a lot of hair, and she sometimes gets a little bit of dookie in it, and she's not good. She's not good at letting. She's not good at like letting you clean her hair. We gotta like cut her nails, and we gotta, I think Steph wants to brush the shit out of her to get rid of to kind of deal with all the like stringy hair and shit. Mm-hmm. And she bolts the second you try to get close to her. Although it was funny. Steph was going to cat sit some cats, and as she was leaving, our new cat Sophie ran up to her and was like letting her pet her. So every day she's getting a little bit more comfy, which is nice.
Nice. Yeah. So and honestly, if you have that trouble, like with the poop and the fur and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you can honestly just get them like put down. Like you don't even a lot of vets don't even ask. You can just go, I'm done.
Pat, why do you think I got the Kublai knife?
Oh, is that what the circle's for?
Yeah, I changed it to CC instead of KK, and I said, damn it, I fucked that joke up. 'Cause I was gonna say it's the cat kill knife.
Andy, I got a game. I'm gonna tell you
Oh
the
shit,
name.
are we out of time, guys? Thanks for hanging out.
You're gonna like it. Trust me, you're gonna like this game. It's a game that I came up with. It's very simple. I'll tell you the name first, and then I'm gonna explain to you how to play. The name of the game is Manifestimo. That's right. It's Manifestimo. That's spelled manifest -emo. This is where I will read you a very, very specific line from either one of two things. You're going to tell me after I read you each line whether it comes from a famous emo song or a famous manifesto.
Yo. Oh shit, dude, this game rules.
Welcome to Manifestimo.
We could also do a version of it. Is this from an emo song, or is this a threat I yelled at my wife?
Is this something I screamed to a funeral procession as I raced past them.
You'd be like, I'll be happy when you're dead. Was that census fail or the fight we had last weekend?
That's going to be for round 2, but I have 5 rounds prepared.
Do I have to name the song or just that it's a song?
You will just tell all you have. I'm not going to make it too hard for you. I'm going to just say all you have to tell me is if
Pat,
it's a song.
Pat, can I cut you off?
Yeah.
Don't worry, you can make it too hard, dude.
Sorry, I had to get my legal pad out for the official score, because I will be keeping score here. So don't worry, you are the only contestant. Play along at home if you want. But Andy,
comment your scores down below.
Count off in the comments if you know what it is, but don't help them. Andy, are you ready to play Manifestimo?
Yes.
Okay. Andy, round 1. I'm going to just read these lyrics to you. All right. Or am I going to read these manifesting words to you? Either way, it's the same energy. No matter what, it's just something that somebody wants to let you know, and they got a lot of passion about it. Round 1. Do you change it? Andy, pay attention. This is very important. Okay, round 1. You ready? Do you charge us with wanting to stop the exploitation of children by their parents? To this crime, we plead guilty. Andy, is this song lyrics or a manifesto? I can read it again if you want. I can try to do it better too if you want.
I can try to read them all from.
Do you want me to sing it? Do you want me to sing it or do you want me to preach it? I can do either one. If you think it sounds more like one. Okay, you ready?
Preach it.
Do you charge us with wanting to stop the exploitation of children by their parents? To this crime, we plead guilty.
I'm guessing that's a manifesto.
Andy, you got it right. That's absolutely correct. That's from the Communist Manifesto by Friedrich Engels.
Wait, can you read it again?
Do you charge us with wanting to stop the exploitation of children by their parents? To this crime, we plead guilty.
Oh, yeah, that is some commie shit. They want to get the kids away from their parents. Fucking French
why
pedophiles.
Do you want to stop those kids from working, you pussies? Round 2, Andy, you're red hot, buddy. You are on fire. Are you ready for round 2 of Manifestimo?
It's not about work. They're going to do work on their butts.
Andy, it's not about
anyway, go on.
Here. We're just talking about art, okay?
I'm just saying. Don't bring up commies around me, dude.
Upon arrival, the guests had all stared, dripping wet and clearly depressed. He'd headed straight for the stairs, no longer cool, but a boy in a stitch, unprepared for life, full of lies and failing relationships. Andy, is this a song or is this a manifesto?
I want to say it's a song.
Do you want to say that, or are you saying that?
I am saying that.
Andy, that's right. You're 2 for 2, my friend. Ding, 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 ding. That's right, Andy. That's from brand new Sick Transit, Gloria, double ellipses, Glory Fades. A lot of that was that's a lot of that. I started to read that one and I was like, oh wait, actually I know this song. So I was like, I was trying to find the one that was the most nondescript as possible. Andy, we're on to round 3. You are lighting up the scoreboard.
First two rounds both involve being sus with other people's kids.
Well, that's our kids round. We're going into mid-teens now, I guess, maybe, or are we? Are you ready to play the next round of Manifestimo?
Yes, dude.
Do you think you can go 5 for 5 today?
I think I can.
Let's find out. Consciousness of exclusion through naming is acute.
That's the manifesto.
You're saying that's a manifesto, Andy?
Yeah.
That's from a Cyborg manifesto from 1985. That's quotes by Donna J. Haraway. That's absolutely correct, Andy. You are 3 for 3 today, my friend. You're killing this game.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, Andy, what personally have you been able to find a lot of manifestos online?
You know, I'm familiar with people who help me become aware of them.
I'm assuming I'm on a couple lists now for the
I'm
number of times.
I'm not gonna reveal my methods.
I understand why, because I Googled multiple times famous manifestos, infamous manifestos, popular manifestos, and boy, oh boy, that's not something that a lot of people are willing to share their feelings about. There's only one published manifesto that I could find openly, but I was able to find plenty of other manifestos on some darker webs.
Well,
but
manifesto is not inherently a bad thing. It's just
right. I found that out
got
too.
history. No, because I remember when I first started getting into libertarianism, I read Ron Paul's, his like intro into libertarianism, but he calls it like the Libertarian Manifesto. And I remember back then, and I still feel that way a little bit, like great content, but you're always just like, man, I feel like they took manifesto, like the scoundrels, they kind of took manifesto. So it's almost like if you don't need to use it, don't use manifesto.
Yeah, but the deeper you dig, the more you find. But some of the subject language and a lot of the stuff I don't know if I can actually say on YouTube, but the popular manifestos give all the other ones a bad rep. Exactly, and that's what it is. But on to round 4, Andy. Let's see if we can keep this streak alive. Are you ready for round 4 of Manifestimo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 roads split off from here, and my life goes running in opposite directions, exaggerating the barrier between who I am and who I want to be. I can sing or I can preach.
Direction. I'm trying to remember which song that is. Who I want to be. I know that's a song. I can't remember who fucking sings that song.
Are you saying song?
Opposite direction. I can't remember what song that is. That's a song.
Dear Diary, my teen angst.
That's right.
A body count from 2024. Not only is it 2024, but that's your 4th point, my friend. You are on fire.
Yeah. To be fair, that album lyrically is a bit of a manifesto.
Yeah, quite. Again, Andy, there is no difference between the two. But let's see if we can hit this 5 for 5, Andy. We're going into lightning round. Are you ready to lightning round?
I'm ready for lightning round, Patty.
Lightning round is basically, this is for all of the marbles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This last one is very important. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to tell me, is this a song or is this a manifesto? Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yes.
So you're tired of living and you feel like you might give in? Well, don't. It's not your time. Andy, is that a song or is that a manifesto?
That's a hard one. Say it again. So do
you want me to say it? Hold on. I can only preach it or I can sing it again.
The
This is lightning round.
Just say it one more time.
So you're tired of living and you feel like you might give in. Well, don't. It's not your time.
Oh, that's a song.
You're saying song?
Yeah, that's a song.
Andy, that was a trick question. It's actually a song by Streetlight Manifesto. I'm going to send that one over to the judges. Hold on a second. Yep, you got that one, Andy. There were 5 for 5. You are the champion of Manifestimo.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music, dude.
That one.
No, because so the brand new one sounded like a song, and then the other two, I was like, oh, I know those lyrics.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even expect you to pull out Streetlight Manifesto. That was so funny.
That was I had to
Also-
give that one to the judges because technically it kind of could have been right either way, but we wanted to make sure you chose the right one, and you did, Andy. You are now the champion of Manifest Emo.
Yeah, well, it's also funny too. Like the actual manifestos sounded way more like clinical and less poetic and shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of manifest, if people don't know, because like people only hear the association with a manifesto whenever someone fucking shoots up a school or something like that. But a manifesto just on the surface is like, yo, here's my views on how life is and shit like that.
I think the Declaration of Independence or some old like documents like that are technically manifestos as well. So I wanted to try to get into more of the how do you say independent manifesto? Those apparently aren't public record a lot of times. So and also most of the stuff that was released from the Virginia or that most recent guy from or lady or whoever killed all those people, a lot of it was
Pat, make sure you don't misgender the baby murderer.
Hey, whatever. I mean, people are really hot and cold about it with Hamas or Israel. If you're Israeli, you're not allowed to do it, but if you're Hamas, you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where we're at culturally nowadays.
What?
Killing children.
We're talking about a trans shooter, and you're like, Israel Hamas. That's a touchy subject.
Well, you said the baby killer. You said you don't.
No, I thought you were talking about the trans shooter, and then people were like,
and you said you didn't want me to misgender the baby killer, and I said, well, I don't know any nowadays. I don't know who is acceptable to kill babies now. I don't know which one.
No one. Still no one.
Still no one. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I agree with that.
But no, according to Google. And this is whatever China fucking thinks. No, a manifesto is a public declaration of policy and aims, especially one issued before an election by a political party or candidate.
It's also it's like also just like sharing your feelings about anything you're really passionate about.
Yeah. Well, no, conspiracy too gets people always, because people always try to give you shit if you're into conspiracies and shit like that. And it's like a lot of people forget. You're like, a conspiracy is just when a group of people plan something and they don't want people to know that they're planning it. Like, that's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not open with all of their planning and they execute it. That's pretty much. Actually, they don't even have to execute it, right? They just have to plan it behind people's backs.
Yeah. Like, yeah, if you're just planning it, it's like if you had a surprise party, you're part of a conspiracy.
Yeah,
like if you, me, and Nate were planning behind the scenes on how to like get Lemaire like off of panties, and then you in there, and then when you hypothetically, I mean, he's the reason we get views. We'd never do that.
People would hate me way more than they hate me now.
I would never be crazy enough to get Lemaire, Nate. In a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, you can replace that guy, no problem.
In a fucking second.
I saw that
Lemaire
thing. That was ridiculous. What a fucking embarrassment.
What'd you say?
I saw that Buffalo Wild Wings thing. What an embarrassment.
Dude, that made me laugh so hard. That was like
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Like, oh, Buffalo Wild Wings. You're like, dude, what are you
on?
Maybe you need to stop smoking every second of the day.
I love the, I get it, like Buffalo Wild Wings. No,
No, you made yourself look way worse.
we're all wearing buffalo things. You have buffalo sauce. Oh, like Buffalo Wild Wings. I get it.
Dude. And when Maddie goes, no, buffalo
No.
wing.
No, idiot.
Oh, and also, dude, that freeze frame of Lemaire, it's so fucking good, dude. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's so
Podcast.
Hey.
Actually, I'm wearing a band. This band's from Buffalo. This is a
Oh
very,
my God.
Y'all are all the
Yes.
enemy.
You have wing sauce on your shirt?
Do I have wing sauce on my shirt?
It was a joke. God, you're so serious.
Come on, they come.
Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Just buffalo wings.
Yeah, why'd you add? Yeah, dude. Maddie's face of you stupid fuck made me laugh so fucking hard.
My favorite part of that clip is actually I don't even know if you guys brought it up in that clip or not, is the fact that he, like you said, you got buffalo shot and he goes
Oh, yeah.
that's totally what I would do too. I'd be like, I could not have eaten buffalo wings in 2 weeks, and you could have told me that and I would have been like, oh fuck, I totally do.
Well, the funny part is because realistically, if you said that to you or me, we'd be like, God damn it, did I? Because like we'd be sitting there like, of course I fucking did.
Of course, I
but
chose the
Nate-
shirt to wear on the fucking podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what an idiot.
But like Nate had his fancy shirt. Like we could always just put on a fucking hoodie and not give a fuck. Nate had his cool guy shirt on.
Yeah.
So, and I know how he is. So I was completely taking advantage of his vulnerability right there. And I was like, I know he will spaz if I put this thought in his head.
And the fact that it not only made him spaz, but it made him spaz so much that he didn't even know how to function. He didn't know how to connect. Just the sauce. It doesn't matter. You didn't have to get it from any branch necessarily. Oh, like Wingstop. I get it. Like, okay. Yeah. Like, but yeah, I got it. Yeah, I get you. You guys have Wingstop there?
Yeah,
Nice.
I think so. The only time I've ever gone to Wingstop, I got crazy diarrhea, but that was my fault.
Way to
You know what I
victim blame.
did? No, dude, I was not a victim. I victimized myself. I was with my buddy and we got it was funny. He got a new job, but he was going to a different state, and he was like, we weren't like hang outside of work friends, but there'd be a lot of days we'd leave work and we'd be talking, and the next thing we realized we'd be just kind of bullshitting for like 30, 45 minutes before we actually got in our cars. So he was like my best work friend. So when he got a new job and left, he was like, yo, do you want to maybe get some, he's like, you want to go hit up something? You know, I'm not going to be here anymore. I was like, sure. So we figured out this area that was like cause he lived kind of far from me. So we ended up settling on like a fucking Wingstop that was like halfway in between the both of us. And I got two, cause he was another big guy. So we just ended up big guy vibing off each other. I got a big thing. I got two big things I think I got actually two big things of tendies. I didn't even get wings. I got tendies, dude. And I got garlic parm and I got buffalo. And I housed the two big things of tendies. And I just had, I had garlic parm and buffalo all swirling around in my tummy. And I'm telling you, dude, the next morning, I felt like body-wise, it was the exact same as if I got like shithoused the night before. I was fucked up because I don't know what it is. Barbecue sauce does something to me, and then mix that with like the creamy fucking garlic parm, fucked me up, dude.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like I used to go to like UFC, watch the UFC pay-per-views and stuff at Buffalo Wild Wings a lot.
Cookie cake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know.
You get your casino
that
cookie
was
cake.
Casino though. That was at the casino. This was long before, where I would actually go there and be like, I'm gonna eat here and I'll get this and I'll have a whole night here. And I think I was drinking at the time, but I wasn't drinking as much. So, but those Sunday mornings after those fucking either Buffalo Wild or Tilted Kilt was another one that we used to go to, that would like just fuck me up. And it wasn't, and I know it wasn't just the beer, because like I would like, but it felt like that. Like it felt like that exact thing. It must be something that they fucking, I mean, obviously it's essentially just voluntary food poisoning. You know, like you're just fucking yourself over by, and you're eating the breading to soak up the beer so you can drink more beer and just get more tired. I just got more tired and shit. after a while. But it's not as there's still something lamer about hanging out in a Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop or any of those party places and not drinking. You know what I mean? Like if you're just there, like just sitting there drinking water and watching the fights or some shit, it's so much weirder. So I just started buying them at home and just giving myself diarrhea. You know?
Yeah, man. I think it's just a mixture of like, I don't know. You just get older and you can't, like, that shitty food just doesn't sit right with you. And also, because here's the thing, I get a vibe you probably don't eat. You probably don't have the best diet, but you probably don't eat as bad as you think. And I think, because I don't know, dude. What's your like how often are you eating like fast food? Is it daily?
No, not daily.
I bet you, knowing you and knowing, because you're very similar to me. Your wife has a similar vibe to my wife. And I bet you eat shitty 50% of the time. I think you're like me and you eat shitty 50% of the time.
I think it's closer. It's probably closer to 65 or 75, but I don't think you're that far off because I'm conscious of it at least. Like so a lot of times, like what I used to be able to do and what I was able to eat like a piece of shit and still function kind of as a human and not like gain a ton of weight was intermittent fasting. Was from 12 to 8 I would eat whatever the fuck I wanted, but if I waited till 12 I wouldn't necessarily want to start with like the worst fucking possible thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna go eat McDonald's just because I'm gonna like try to find something that's food to start my day out with at least. But then usually after that it was off the rails almost every time.
Well, and also the point I was going to get to is the point I was kind of getting at trying to figure out like your diet and stuff is because so like people who Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't do anything to, it's the people who eat shitty every single meal. Because those people who eat the people who eat like shitty every single meal, they're like tired and they're not feeling good and they're fat and stuff, but like they don't get bodied by it because that's what their body's used to. When they go and they, you start work, that's what people realize. You start working in more of the good stuff when you go back to, if you try to eat shitty at the same levels you used to. That's what I've been realizing. That's half the reason I've been pulling it back slightly from time to time. Is I have been eating better, and because my body's not used to, because I used to be that guy, eat shitty every meal, drink a decent amount almost every night, and like I got into a rhythm where I didn't feel great every day, but it didn't body me. So now the fact that I don't eat shitty every meal, when I do eat shitty like I used to, go Birds. Wait.
Oh yeah. For context,
go Birds. Don't they have an off? They have an off week.
Yeah, they have a bye week this week. Yeah,
bye week. That's right. You can tell I'm a hardcore sports fan. I call it an off week.
It's a week for them to get a little curious. I like to say,
put your mouth on the thing you don't usually do. It's a bye week.
Do whatever you want. Bye week.
No, the only reason I know it's a bye week because the Eagles Twitter account posted some picture of a dude on the biggest sectional I've ever fucking seen, and dude, it looks sick. Wait, I gotta pull it up, dude. It was the best sectional I've ever seen in my life.
That's how you know you're old. Not only that Buffalo Wild Wings fucks with your bowels a little bit more, but the fact that you just said you gotta see the size of this sectional. It's incredible.
Yeah, I know your instinct is to, be like, you're old, but you're gonna see the sectional and you're gonna be like, fuck, dude.
I'm gonna be like that guy with the karaoke mics. Whoa, that's too big. That's like that. What are you doing with that?
That's literally the most perfect sectional I've ever seen.
That's crazy. So I guess I'm assuming those other two come out and they go onto the sides there, so you can extend that a little bit more. Maybe put a coffee table for game night or something.
I'm guessing that's two sectionals turned into one monster sectional.
Yeah. So is this is how they spend their bye weeks, just laying on a bare couch by themselves?
That's what this guy's doing.
No hoes around them. You ain't got no friends. What's to say? Us right now.
Come on, dude. Come on. They're all happily married, man. Fucking professional athletes don't. Professional athletes don't cheat, dude. Don't put that on them. Come on, man.
I didn't say cheat. I just said it's their bye week. It's allowed this week.
You think? Oh, it's the opposite hose of your wife.
Yeah. Some
dude
male
hose. Gotcha.
Gotcha. Male host. All right.
Some
I think
he's.
we're I think we fucking did it. Pat, that game was so fun. I'm so happy you did that.
You nailed it. You did great. I thought I was going to get to stump you with one of them, but the judges had your back, so you're lucky.
I know my emo and I know my people with a grudge. So
Manifestimo.
I manifestimo.
I just like saying it, and I will get better ones later on. I will eventually get access to the dark web and some FBI files if I can. And find. I won't share the whole thing, but I will share excerpts because we gotta. What are you going to be able to tell from Autumn to Ashes and Ted Kaczynski? Let's find out next week. Manifestimo.
Thanks for hanging out. We love y'all. Have a good one. Be about a peace.